Communism said to myself. Abundant will soft have cam another pouch. I looked at half-dozen little figures that were following. Then, in a flash I perceived it had fit same formal costume, the same soft hairless visage, and the same girlish rotundity of limb. It may seem strange, perhaps, that I had not noticed this before. But everything was so strange. Now, I saw the fact plainly enough. In costume, and in all the differences of texture and bearing that now mark off the sexes from each other, these people of the future were alike. And the children seemed to my eyes to be but the miniatures of their parents. I judged, then, that the children of that time were extremely precocious, physically at least, and I found afterwards abundant verification of my opinion. Seeing the ease and security in which these people are living, I felt that this close resemblance of the sex suasive Terralwatonu would expect for that strength of family and the softness of a woman, the institution of the family, and the differentiation of occupations are a militant necessity, so then geophysical force where a population excellent and abundant, much childbearing becomes an evil rather tenable thing to festate where prevalence come as butter, life and offspring are secured. There is less necessity, indeed there is no necessity, for an efficient family, and the specialization of the sexes with reference to their children's needs disappears. We see some beginnings of this even in our own time, and in this future age it was complete. This, I must remind you, was my speculation at the time. Later, I was to appreciate how far it fell short of the reality. While I was musing upon these things, my attention was attracted by a little structure like a cupola. I thought in the transitory way of the oddness of wealth still existing and then resumed the thread of misspeculations. There were no large buildings towards the top of the hill, and as my walking powers were evidently miraculous, I was presently left alone for the first time. With a strange sense of freedom and adventure I pushed on up to their creasest. There I found a feature some yellow motal that I did not recognize, corroded in places with a kind of pinkish rust and half-smothered red and soft moss beer rest sketched and filled into their resemblance of griffins' heads. I sat down in it and I surveyed the broad waffle-rolled world under fizzoons it. Soft hat long the twain soft sweet and fair view as I have ever seen. The sun had already gone below the horizon and the west was flaming gold, touched with some horizontal bar soft earth leaned crimson. Below waste valley of headlands, in which the river lay like a band of burnished steel. I have already spoken of the great palaces dotted about among the variegated greenery, some in ruins and some still occupied. Here and there rose a white or silvery figure in the waste garden of the earth. Here and there came the sharp verti colony of some Archipola rebellisk. There were here just no signs of proprietary rights, no evidences of agriculture. The whole earth had become a garden. So watching, I began to put my interpretation upon the things it had seen, and a such shape had itself to method evening. My interpretation was something in this way. Afterwards I found I had got only a half-truth or only a glimpse of one facet of the truth. It seemed to me that I had happened upon humanity upon the wane. The ruddy sunset set me thinking of the sunstaff of mankind. For the first time I began to realize an odd consequence of the social effort in which we are at present engaged. And it come to think it has a logical consequence enough. Strength is the outcome of need. Security sets at premium on feebleness. For ameliorating conditions of life, the true civilizing process that makes life more and more secure had gone steadily on to a climax. One triumph of united humanity over nature had followed, and a third things the Torah now dream shed bay, comb projects were liberately put in hand and carried forward. And the harvest was what is a. After all, the sanitation and the agriculture of two are still in the rudimentary stage. The science of our time has attacked but a little department of the field of human disease, but even so, it spreads its operations very steadily and persistently. Our agriculture and horticulture registry the weed just here and there and cultivate perhaps a score or so wholly summer plants, leaving a greater number to fit out of balance as they can. We improve our favorite plants and animals, and how few they are gradually by selective breeding. Now a new and better peach, now a seedless grape, no a sweeter and larger flower, no a more the Ethiopian breed of cattle. We improve them gradually, because our ideals are vague and tentative, and our knowledge is very limited, because nature, too, is shy and slow in our clumsy hands. Some day all this will be better organized, and still better that a speed drift of heat current and spitty of heat eddies. The whole world will be intelligent, educated, and cooperating. Things will move faster and faster towards subjugation of nature. In the end, wisely and carefully we shall read just the balance of animal and vegetable to suit our human needs. This adjustment, I say, must have been done, and done well, done indeed for all time, in the space of time across which Mcqueen had leaped. There was free from gnats, the earth from weeds or fungi, everywhere were fruits and sweet and delightful floaters, brilliant butterflies flew hither and thither. The ideal of preventive medicine was obtained. Disease exacerbate and stampede out. I saw no evidence of any contagious diseases during all my stay, and I shall have to tell you later Kate haven't had processes of putrefaction, and Kate had been profoundly affected by these changes. Social triumphs, too, had been effected. I saw mankind housed in splendid shelters, gloriously clothed, and as yet I had found them engaged in no toil. There were no signs of struggle, neither social nor economical struggle. The shop, the advertisement, traffic, all that commerce which constitutes the audio for world was gone. It was a natural on that golden evening Kate should jump a theatre of a social part. The difficulty of increasing population had been met, I guessed, and population had ceased to increase. But with this change in condition comes inevitably adaptations to that change. What unless biological science is a mass of errors, is the cause of human intelligence and vigor. Hardship and freedom, conditions under which the active, strong, and subtle survive and the weaker go to the wall, conditions that put a premium upon the loyal alliance of capable men, upon self-restraint, patience, and decision, and the institution of the family, and the emotions that arise of the fires, jealousy, the tenderness for wrath, spring, parental self-devotion, all found their justification and support in the imminent dangers of the young. Now, where are these imminent dangers? There is a sentiment arising, and it will grow, against connubial jealousy, against fierce maternity, against passion of all sorts, unnecessary things now, and things that make us uncomfortable, savage survivals, discords in the refined and pleasant life. Tough-head icicles slide in a soft-head people there. Lack of intelligence, and those big abundant ruins, and it strengthened my belief in a perfect conquest of nature. For after the battle comes quiet. Humanity had been strong, energetic, and intelligent, and had used all its abundant vitality to alter the conditions under which it lived. And now came the reaction of the altered conditions. Under the new conditions of perfect comfort and southeast purity, that restless energy, that with us is strength, would become weakness. Even in our own time certain tendencies and desires, once necessary to survival, are a constant source of failure. Physical courage and the love of battle, for instance, are no great help, may even be hindrances to a civilized man. And in the state of physical balance and rightly powered intellectual less physical would be out of place. For countless years to add the antidote of war or solitary violence, no danger from wild beasts, no wasting disease to require strength of constitution, no need of toil. For such a life, what we should call the weak are as well equipped as the strong are indeed. We of bet. Terequit had indeed for that strong would be fretted by an energy for which there was no outlet. No doubt the exquisite beauty of the buildings I saw was the outcome of the last searchings of the now purposeless energy of mankind before it settled down into perfect harmony with the conditions under which it lived. The flourish of that triumph which began the last great peace. The chase of verbi and the fate of energy and security, it takes to art and to eroticism, and then come languor and decay. Eventus artistic impetus would at last be what he had almost died in the time I saw. To adorn themselves with flowers, to dance, to sing in the sunlight, so much was left of the artistic spirit, and no more. Even that would fade in fiendo content activity. Where kept on grindstone of pain and necessity, and, it seemed to me, that here was that hateful grindstone broken at last. As I stood there in the gathering dark, I thought that in this simple explanation I had mastered the problem of the world, mastered the whole secret of these delicious people. Possibly the ships that had devised for their increased population had succeeded too well, and their numbers had rather diminished than kept stationary. That would account for the abandoned ruins. Very simple was my explanation, and plausible enough as most wrong theories are.